Alright, what up? What's peace? What's going down? We got Thursday THC Theatre going down Friday edition. Figure Australia. Chilling through another lax time, just doing a thing. Hope you're doing good, bro and gals. Uh, just high grade all day, keeping the culture low. Quick stream. I might come through with a sesh later, but I was just viewing this video on Rasta, critical part of cannabis culture. Very predominant, traders around the world. Kind of birthed in Jamaica. So we're gonna hear this man and see what influences on it. I haven't watched it yet, so but it should be pretty chill. So much peace in Jamaica. So we're gonna get it. What's up, Wally? Peace, brother. Sit back and enjoy for the next half an hour.
Rastafari. It's good to be here. You see, same one Flacco, try reason for some things. Importance. Early Jamaica history, we are talking about this time, and with a fake Rastafari development. In 1655, Britain colonial government had a problem. Want to conquer land, not really had a problem, but they want to conquer more land. So they seized Jamaica from the Spanish. In that time, and even before even that time, the Arabs were in Jamaica. And they made a sad demise. Same Arak Indians that we read about, or some of us read about, and you can't trace them in this time anymore because there's not recorded history of them. In Jamaica we find some artifacts of some bones and some we call now pots and pans, and we can say anthropologists or archaeologists will say they belong to the Arawak set of people. So we know that Jamaica, they had named Jamaica ex-Jamaica. So at least we carry the Arawak name even today. 16th to the 18th century, British shipped millions of Africans across the Atlantic. This is known as transatlantic slave of Africans. They brought the Africans to their slave plantations to plant sugarcane. It was a tough time because let's look at slavery. Try to stretch your imagination of what slavery is and what slavery given those who suffered. And this time when we are fortunate, some of us, because some of us are still being enslaved. We talk about mental slavery, but physical slavery. That's where it is, especially chattel slavery.
Let's quickly stop there. Just highlight one point as the man was saying. The sugarcane industry in Jamaica after colonization became a very predominant industry, huge income earner. Just wanted to say the similarity with Fiji, absolutely similar. British colony, sugarcane being the biggest crop, biggest money maker. They did it labor. Crazy. And he's just talking about the indentured labor. It's a very harsh topic to think about, but just wanted to place that point up. We'll keep going with this, brother.
So we even give thanks for those who survive, our ancestors who survive, that we can come about in this time and speak in their memory or try to learn what went on, to stretch our imagination. With slave plantation in Jamaica was tough. Many rebellions could slave them. No man don't want to be enslaved, you know. Think of it, you know. No man don't want to be enslaved. So 18 to the 18th to the 19th century, English come here with Africans in slave ship. The Taki rebellion 1831 to 1832 was a terrible thing. You know, Taki come on slave ship, and you know about Taki and Nani and Kwaku. And Taki was a rebellious one. And lead a slave rebellion. I think it's a 100-year rebellion Taki led, you know. Because more like a guerrilla war and sabotage, you know, and, you know, rebellion go burning up places and all them things. Following by that, you call the Baptist rebellion, or we know as the Sam Sharp rebellion, because Sam Sharp was a Baptist. Yeah. They saved one of our Sharp, so his name Samuel Sharp. So he organized a Christmas Day rebellion. That was very rough because Sam Sharp is a man who could read and write. So my favorite, and was a preacher. But church play an important part in slavery, especially the Baptist church, who did not preach, who did not preach a traditional Christian doctrine, but a doctrine of survival and what things will be, instead of heaven and hell doctrine that one man preach more today. They preach of a doctrine of humanity and we have to live as compared to what people are preach. Baptized and go to heaven, you know. Because them time they look on serious things in life and compare to all the Bible that says every man born equal. So as I said. So Sam Sharp was a man. We'll ride him donkey and at night and we'll talk to the slaves them, show them say things are right to end the seat. To the younger ones them, stronger ones them, decide say, you're not gonna be passive like a daddy Sharp who just speak. Them decide to just burn some plantation and burn down some great house and all them things so that will happen. Is it? Yeah, but Jamaica have a whole heap of slaves, you know. 300,000 slaves. Jamaica have them time. So to the 300,000 slaves, 60,000 of them decide to revolt. It wasn't a nice thing. You look at those pure fire they burn all over the place. So the slave master would force to come to grips with the situation and realizing that slavery thing now go work in Jamaica for much longer. Although him love the sugar and him make big money and that costs him more to maintain a sugar plantation, you know. Most of him loved ones them perish. So it said when the masses rise up and decide say, hey, we are human beings just like you know. We want equal share of things. So the British decide to abolish the part of slavery. But him still want to make money. Because the man decides, say, fee in place, and own the people and money living property, you know. So every time when indentured workers was introduced in Jamaica, everything pacified and get cool myself. You see it. Some of time of indentureship. Mm-hmm. So you have the Indians them come, yeah, from India. And every time and them come see me. So they want to get some work done. The black man them see me in Jamaica, you know, on a different level. So him get fee in plot of land. And him could have farm and him look a place same way. He have work for Bucky Master and more of work for himself, but he have work for Bucky Master. On a level, because film rating still can't work. But Indian come with a status. They come to earn a fortune. Is it? They're not coming on slave ship and all the things and chain upon abuse. But Indians came. They came in religion. They came in Hinduism. Sadhus came too. Among them, dreadlock sadhus came. They come with his own lifestyle. Priests came. Yeah. And we like Jamaica because it was better than India to the circumstance of what you're seeing here. But the sadhus were some Indians who renounce the society, to remove themselves. And come with the good ganja that we know. And come with them chillum pipe. And come with them food. You know, the thing they want to love to eat. You know that they're going to find them in Jamaica. See it. All them things there. So, I want different level now. Africans start see some different manner come. Different level of thinking, different looks, different ways of life. On a spiritual level. And he will come into reasoning with himself after him done work. And don't do him a do. Because I light up him chalice. And smoke some ganja. You're going to make some ganja tea. You're going to have some reasoning. So you're going to spiritualize. What he did do too. He give the Africans some ganja and smoke. That was Irie. He got the ganja tea and give them. You see? And he love that. So it's like a big girl. The Jamaicans and the Indians them. It's a nice thing, especially on weekend. You see? So it was Irie that was introduced in Jamaica. And when one started to mention and say, yeah, it's good to be among the Indians and to learn from them. You see? Yeah, man, the same chillum we are born on Kochi. Indians take care of that. Yeah. And the ganja see them with them and then plant it. The ganja farms them they may have their seed. Yeah, man. So that was the first stage of influence on Rastafari. When you look at the Indians and see the rest. Because the Sadhus them have some long locks, you know, long locks man them. Man them with the title. You know, wearing a whole heap of clothes. They look at shorts. They look at sandals, you feel like them tread barefoot.
It's critical point he's talking over there. How slavery ended, indentured labor started. The Indian laborers came over under the British colony of colonization and brought with them the ganja culture as a systemic within Hinduism. Basically, and he's talking about the sadhus reading the ganja and then like disconnecting from the culture, wearing the dreadlocks. They are still living today. You can check it out. I think it refers to like a good man is what it translates to. So they kind of like get to the age, can kind of be of a teenager, but really usually of adult age male, and they just like disconnect from all material things, uh, and just try to survive off the food and ganja and their spiritual connection that they have. So that's just a huge, major point that people probably don't realize. Where how Rastafarianism kind of birthed, but we'll keep going. Yeah, but also the reason I kind of got onto this was Leonard Howe. I was he's kind of the father of the Rasta movement. He housed a lot of these people that went away from the government. As he said, there was 300,000 um, slaves, and 60,000 of them went up into the mountains or so. So that's about 1/5 of the population. It's quite a lot, but I'll let him continue. Keep going.
In Bash, them things, others having food. Ever in our mates. They went to like society because the man was just tried. Then have him herb, him tried. See, yeah. So you find say He's a spiritual person too, and he read him Bible and he read him historical books. And he speak about Kali, the ganja goddess, ganja smoking goddess. So we have Kali herb. The born come here, man, in my tradition as youth. I'm gonna buy herb and say, send me and draw a Kali. You know, good draw a Kali herb then. Yeah. So we don't know, so the name Kali come from the Hindu. This is where it come from. So the Rasta man, same way. The Judo-Christian man, same way, can use the Bible. So he might use the Bible as a reference. But you see him, when get him spirituality. I'm going to use the ganja or the Indian bring. I'm going to use the ital, the liberty, and the no salt diet. And comes to the Indian I use. Because I remember saying, he might escape, he have little thing. He have space where he have somebody if you associate with or a different level and plantation owner and find a joy in being with the Indians, you see it. So Rastafari embodied a radical revolutionary and political approach to create positive changes in society. We have a man like Leonard Howell now who come up in him journey there. Howell was a wise man. Howell have an Indian friend named Lalo. Yeah, man, Lalo is a sadhu same way, you know, Lalo is a spiritual man. And with this Hinduism that was there and this Indian Hindu culture and ways of life. It was Lalo who named Howell Gangunguru Maharaj. Because we never know about those names. I never know where it come from. I never know the meaning of it.
Alright, you'll probably go a bit more into this. The Gungang Maharaj. So that's where Junior Gong and the Gong Mali kind of get their reference from. Talking about the Leonard Howell, the father of Rasta. So let him go. The great Leonard Howell and his friend. Let him continue. I wasn't aware. But much peace, much props.
He couldn't call himself so. And he had reasons to call himself so. So Lalo was like a teacher for Howell. Yeah. So Gangunguru Maharaj or Gang Maharaj or Tough King or Tough Gang, the same thing. You see. So Lalo also teach holy songs, prayers, Hindu prayers. Taught him the language to a certain extent. So he could speak Hindi same way and know it go. Boy will never grow no locks. So the part they never we had up. But he might have the name and the ways, and the thinking. You see. Yeah. And the self-reliance. And the separation from society. Because that is what those bringing. To separate yourself from society. Form your own community. And build your own energy. You know, so you separate yourself from a mainstream in your community. You can find a way out. So early Rastafari, like a whole the first Rasta. We come see, we come know. The Indians them who came, especially the Sadhus, especially Lalo. Oh, it's a pity we don't know more about him. Because not many things are documented. but the very little that we know had a great influence on Leonard Howell. You see, so the Indians, Sadhu, seek to transcend the ordinary life, to pursue a mystic connection with the divine. You see how the man themselves. Just like Rastafari, who seek to transcend the Babylon system, we call Babylon system, to pursue a mystical connection with Rastafari. Because the aim of Rastafari, the objective, is to be one with Haile Selassie. You leave Babylon and come. You burn down Babylon. You want to go to Zion. You want to be a Haile lion. Yeah. Just like the Hindu them. Just like the Sadhus them. The nuns were going down here. And look on the heights of holiness and of heights within the heights. Because so it said. So you find that there's an intertwining between the Sadhus, the Indians. Because the Africans never bring no ganja come here, you know. But no slave ship, you know. They don't carry no ganja seed, you know. You come to suffering, brutality and chains. Because the history show the traditional life of Rastafari came from an Indian influence. And he will come out of oil himself to reach that level of two. Or I come see in a community. You see, give thanks to that. Yeah. So there was a similarity with Rastafari and Indian tradition and Indian influence. So Rastafari have separated themselves from mainstream society. The Shadows did the same. You see, the Shadows grow locks and burn comb and scissors. Rastafari did the same. Shadows use ganja as a sacrament. Same thing Rasta say. Ganja in sacrament. Shadows burn what they call hot rod. Chill on pipe. Bust a buckle and put the ganja in it and smoke that. Buckle neck. Yeah. Both do the same thing. So those plant ganja, having ganja plantation, plant it. You repeat him say ganja is medicine. Rasta do the same thing too. You see, a whole of a similarity. So was an item man. With a flesh eater. Rasta do the same thing too. Let him learn. Let him practice. So there's a great connection between both and both intertwined. So early as Rasta tried, but there's the influence of the journey of how things come about. Because if you look seriously on things now, Jamaica's a slave plantation, slavery there. And the indentured workers who come, they come in culture. And it's a refreshing culture to the Africans then who are there. And they need something to relax them too. You see, you can't separate the Rasta, without from his spirituality, Because his spirituality making. He's doing calm himself and set himself. So he finds comfort within himself. have been among Sadhus, Indians who came. Because there's similarity in religion, you know. But it's what you look for and what you adapt from it and take it to be your own self. So it's always good to see where the culture comes from. What are the similarities with the culture? What's the man with the Bible? It's someone born the Bible. And you should them read Revelation and chant the Psalms then. That we come here, that we come see. The Bible is a point of reference for many. The Bible can be used in many ways. Just like with the history of people is a point of reference to that we adapt. We can say, yeah, that's a starting point. Because the journey of people, you know, and people are just people who adapt other people's ways and the good ways and take from it and refine it. Because sections of what the Sadhus tradition we take as Rasta, we never take all of it. Because we never need all of it. You only need what we need to survive on. Because the Sadhus didn't see the divinity of Haile Selassie. We see that. Indians have worship of gods within Hinduism. We use the levity that we come, but they introduce and reach our heights within ourselves. It's a stepping stone to where we there. And you have to give credit for that. Yeah, I know. So it's good to read and good to study and good to see the journey of how things come up. The Indians in Jamaica still, you know, coming in food and in culture and in dal and roti and yeah, you know, Jamaicans love that. Still on Sablaman, enough place in Jamaica, yes, it's Indians them there and we give thanks to them. Still up on the cane field, same here. Cane belt there and within the country, you see them up and down. And that new generation of them. So anything you have good and bad, you know, people come to Jamaica and them set up themselves as different generations. Within the journey of life, we the Africans still stand up. And we come here. Our ancestors come here, we not even know religion then come with. But Africans being spiritual people have to find our own ground. Our own spirituality. And in that spirituality that we have seen and that we have become. It's a Rastafari. And use ganja as a medium to reach heights. So we give thanks for the Indians who came, who bring the good Cali weed. You know. Yeah. And we give thanks. Then could have bring vital liberty. On a journey of separation. On a journey to reach divine. That ones could have seen. Who stood among them. Who could have learned. And how well could have seen and adapt to become the first Rasta. Gangongoro Mirage. Bob Marley adapt the name Tough Gang. So you know, say, many things to learn in this time. Jah Rastafari. Give thanks and praise.
Yeah, big fact. That was a the little upload there for comment and very informative. So you can run back there. But as I said, I was thinking about Leonard Howe, like he's kind of the father of Rasta. So I might keep going on that vein. Yeah, so it's so much peace to everybody. Hope you're all doing good. Thanks for coming through. What's it good? Just chilling out. Uh, watching this. It's good vibes, though, so I might just keep it like this. So obviously here, it's just a documentary. I think I'll let it out. Hope you're burning that high grade. As he said, to sacrament. Huge points there. The Sadhu, you know, the influence they had for the culture, and that influence is held of the world and cannabis culture in the time that we know and live, although it's been
The name
here for
Rastafari
thousands of
comes from
years.
His Majesty, Emperor Haile
Much
Selassie. He
peace
was
for listen.
Rastafari before he was crowned Emperor Haile Selassie. Emperor Haile Selassie is his coronation name. We who saw him as a biblical fulfillment became known as Rastafarians. We are his sons, and he is Rastafari, and we are Rastafarians.
Selassie!
Rastafari.
My Lord. By thee shall all barriers be broken.
In Jamaica, we always worship a white Christ and a white king and a white queen. They didn't learn us anything of a black king. So when I saw a photograph of a black king in the front page of the Daily Gleaner, I said to my father, I never know we have a black king. He said, yes, man. I said, how you know? He said, it was crowned 1930 in Ethiopia. 52 nations went to his coronation. I said, then how can I know about it? He said, read your Bible.
They that sow in tears shall reap in joy.
There had always been a stream among the people of memory. We had not completely forgotten Africa.
And he that goeth forth weeping burn present seed.
If there is anything we contribute to Jamaica society, one of the major things is wisdom. To get them wise. Get the society wise. Know that you're black, know that you're African, know that you're suffering by colonialism or neo-colonialism or whatever.
Bringing the sheaves with him. 144,000 elected saints. Black women and children numberless at the sun of the seashore. Crying out, Selah!
Selassie Jah Rastafari.
Born in 1887, Marcus Garvey is considered the greatest prophet amongst Rastafarians. In 1916, he emigrated to the United States. There, he established a chapter of his Universal Negro Improvement Association, an organization which set about restoring pride and dignity amongst Africans and people of African descent. His Pan-Africanist philosophies have been the springboard from which most black nationalist and African independence leaders have based their struggles. His mantra being, "Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will."
Marcus Garvey tradition was kept in the years following the waning of the UNIA, was kept alive by Rastas.
Well, Rastafari is the unity and love of black people. That is the first meaning of Rastafari. Unity and love of black people get together, self-awareness, self-reliance. You don't depend on the next nation to do nothing for you. You have to depend on your own. Marcus Garvey speak of it. Self-awareness, self-reliance, self-confidence.
Marcus Garvey had told us that we were to look to Ethiopia. And when a king is crowned, then we know that our deliverance would be at hand. Now that the king was crowned in 1930, followers of Garvey saw this as a fulfillment. And there the movement was formed.
Marcus Garvey didn't actually, in any speech, prophesy about the rise of an African king. but he did write a play, performed the play entitled The Crowning of the King and Queen of Africa. The closing scene was a coronation, and those words, "Look to Africa when the king and queen is crowned to know that your hour of redemption is at hand," must have occurred in that play. So when the actual coronation of Selassie took place, and his Empress Menen, they Howell and a number of people, independently of each other, began to attach significance to that because of what Garvey said.
Leonard Howell was a follower of Marcus Garvey and a member of the UNIA. Charismatic and outspoken, he criticized the colonial interpretation of the Bible, and in 1934 began to spread his belief that Christ had returned to earth as a black man.
Leonard Howell is the forerunner for Rastafari because he's the first one that come and say Rastafari is God.
This is the site of the Great House where Leonard Howell once lived. He had purchased this property in 1934, 300 acres. And the inhabitants there were all Rastafarians, about 1,800 of them. And this is the top. Overlooking 2 or 3 parishes in Jamaica. You have Clarendon, St. Catherine, and you can see as far as Kingston. So this view covers 3 parishes of the 14 parishes in Jamaica. A very beautiful scene.
When I come to Pinnacle, 1940, and that day when I came was the 6th of February, 1940. 1940, we come to Pinnacle, the 6th of February. And the bookman checked that day, it was 1,798, and people never finished coming. Him happy feed the whole people then.
They were a community of followers settling, and each had his or her own plot of land in which you cultivated and so on and sold crops and so on. They raised goats, they raised cash crops and so forth. But Howell made a point of using ganja as a cash crop, which used to be sold in the marketplace in Kingston. It was at the time, although it was proscribed from 1925, it was never really prosecuted, so that it was possible to find ganja sold openly.
So me see right now, if the government could have free ganja, better free. I cook one team fight, you know, and free ganja. In this part of community, I'd have to build house and everything and buy one vehicle. That's the weed, you know? And the yam and thing. I just then we live off of Morris. That's the weed me depend on.
Howell amassed a considerable fortune from ganja, and the Rastas became inextricably linked with its cultivation. The early followers grew beards to emulate Haile Selassie and regarded Howell as a prophet.
When you see him, you have to stand up, take off your cap, and bow to him. And a black man, you know. It's a black man, arise and shine, for the light has come.
They used to sing songs to him, just as I always sing a song to Jesus Christ. You know, they sang songs about Howell. You know.
Once he was gang. You ever hear them call him gang? He was gang Gunguru Maraj. He is counselor. He is counselor here. He is Rastafari. You see one man.
When Howell come here, he come and wake us up to those things. And when he told us about Rastafari and we check history, we say the return Messiah. For Christ means Savior. So Rastafari is our Savior.
Rastas used to be stoned on the streets. They were considered derelicts and outcasts and so forth at one time, and madmen, mad.
The imperial government didn't want you to say Rastafari is God, or to show the people the truth. Because they may show you a false God, and you are sure the right God. So he will press you and prosecute you for it. You understand? Him say that you is madman.
You never seen Tabas. Them come all up there. Then do all kind of things to him that is wicked. Mm-hmm. Have a house up there, when rent, 7-room furnished. And all the members and kings and all both come there. And we see them plan, then government plan to come in and do damage. And tear down and mash and beat the people them. And him leave 7-room furnished, and he leave St. Thomas with 1 suit pan him back. And he don't return back there yet. So yet every knee have to bend and everything have to cancel. You hear me say? So I was living in Kingston and he leave and go to St. Thomas and rent a house. 7-room furnished, may I tell you. 7-room. A man like that and he must 7-room furnished. You must understand what kind of house. Understand the kind of man. And then come down and mash up to the government say, if they can't bring how will I bring your head up and him blood for it. Your blood run. You see it? You not see it yet. Well then do him, them can't pay for it.
Howell was pursued by the colonial government, who believed his castigation of whites and message of a black Christ would destabilize the colonies. He was denounced by the authorities and imprisoned several times, spending many years committed to Bellevue Mental Asylum.
Howell, at the trial, spoke in tongues and behaved as a religious person who is inspired, would possibly behave in a manner that made them feel that he was mad. For example, he went silent after a while. You ask him questions, he could never penetrate that silence.
He's not a man like you, you know. Still a man. He says not a man very easy to know. And when you see him disappear from you, that's the kind of man. A funny man.
It's been a history whereby the state uses dementia as a way of delegitimating certain religious figures and slandering them and so on. The fact is that if you believe in a God, that's madness, because you can't touch and feel God. So there's a touch of madness in everybody, for that matter, and it's only a matter of society's definitions and measures that you can say somebody is completely mad.
Rastafari.
After years of discrimination, communities have separated from mainstream society. They have established communes where they continue to preach the back to Africa philosophies of Marcus Garvey and adhere to strict religious practices. They are not permitted to eat meat, drink alcohol, or smoke cigarettes.
King Emmanuel is 7.
the nation about this. Tell them the comfort of the blood Christ has come with the joy of salvation to heart and soul.
Give thanks for the God in three persons, blessed Trinity, prophet, priest, and king. Give thanks for the royal prophet who come in the darker days and say, up your mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. Read for the stars of equality and justice. Equality and justice stand for one. Equality and justice stand for all. Those and they that love Satan kingdom will have to fall, say our Father. Marcus I.
Set deep in the hills of St. Thomas, this is Bath, a place of spiritual healing for the Rastas. They believe that a slave was once beaten by his master and visited these hot springs, where the wounds to his back were miraculously healed. The waters are said to possess great healing powers.
The old man in this country and trim and shave you for your beard. I've been on your beard. If you go to get to work and have on your beard, they tell you must go and trim and come back. In those days, the few people that you see have on beard, they call them Danamichi or Clark Gable. But not until Rastafari came into existence and we saw the beard, man started to use beard. So that is how the beard started to come. And then they started to call you Rastafari. In the mid-50s, blacks come about. For there, when there was fighting in Kenya to get independent, the other set of people named the Mama, they didn't send them here because they're fighting a war. But they bring a show in Jamaica named Something of Value. They show us two generals, General China and General Komati.
In the 1950s, late 40s, there was a group called the Youth Black Faith. They developed a sense of aggression, aided and abetted in a way by the contemporary struggles of the Kenyan people, pictures of whom appeared as a dreadlocks, people wearing the matted hair. Also, one of my informants who was critical in this whole development told me that they took on to themselves that outcast.
I thought this would be a bit more about Hal, Leonard Hal, so I think it's going to drag for a while, so check it out yourself, though, if you want. The First Rasta, documentary London Productions. It's just on YouTube, too. I'll go into sort of where are we at? Once again, thank you for thinking about G, so feel good. Yeah. Where is it at? Yeah. Go to one of these for like 10 minutes or something.
With a record return of 20% last year and a top long-term performance averaging 9.7% over 10 years, millions of Australians are better off with Australian Super. It's Australian, it's super, and it's...
A Coles Group and Maya gift card is exactly what they want.
It's the most triangle time of the year.
So yeah, you can't escape. You just can't escape. Alright, I think I'll go from the beginning. He had a cool vibe.
Why is it that Leonard Howell gets most of the attention when people speak about the original people of Rastafari?
One would say it was Marcus Garvey who had announced, "Look to Africa, a black king will be crowned." So he was the prophet who made that declaration, but historically it was not Marcus Garvey. He just repeated the words from Reverend Webb, the Baptist from America. So Marcus got that credit. But when we research and read, we find, say, hey, he's not Marcus, Reverend Webb. But why we say more Howell? Because Marcus Garvey and Howell was in U.S. in Harlem. Marcus was deported to Jamaica and also Leonard Howell. So when Leonard Howell sight of Rastafari, he wanted to be on Marcus Garvey's platform to announce his majesty. Marcus Garvey said, no, I am a Christian, you go somewhere else. And from that make a serious line on how he'll try. So he'll hit the street with Haile Selassie as God and King. Marcus Garvey was not in that Haile Selassie divinity. And we learned, so due to how he was persecuted for Rastafari and not Marcus Garvey, how he was sent to the asylum, how he was sent to prison, how he was beaten. So we can't give Marcus Garvey that credit historically, no. Having done the research, we say no. Garvey is not you. It's Leonard Howell. He's the man who is the father of the faith, who declared the divinity of his majesty and stood by it, and not Marcus Garvey. How will live it, you know? Marcus Garvey just announced it. Marcus Garvey says that it's in the time of Mussolini invasion. Marcus Garvey said that Haile Selassie is a coward. It is in the Black Man magazine. And he said Haile Selassie is not royal blood. And those to illuminate Marcus Garvey. For those who are students of Leonard Howell and Rastafari, we know as fact. But we love Marcus Garvey the same way, as a great man, but he's not Rastafari. And he doesn't live up to Rastafari teachings as we see, as growing up and being learned and see how the history of the movement is. That's why we stick to that.
Was Leonard Howell a Bible man?
Leonard Howell was a Bible man. Leonard Howell was a Mason. No, the Bible man was Joseph Nathaniel Hibbert. Come on, say no, it is not Howell alone, you know. You have Joseph Nathaniel Hibbert, you have Robert Hines, and you have Archibald Dunkley. All four of them declared his majesty divinity. But Howell was the man who stood out more and went to prison. So, you know, you see Howell was like the leader among all the four. So all four come together and make one declaration at separate times, you see. Then Howell made Pinnacle. Howell bought Pinnacle and have the residence for ones who, created sustainable community that have farming and entrepreneurship and coal burning, and Howell was the first ganja planter in Jamaica too.
As I mentioned Pinnacle, I really want to ask you a question, like how important do I think the Howellites are in the history of Jamaica? Because I realize that majority of Jamaicans never heard of the Howellites before, but I feel like they are a crucial, important part to the Jamaican culture, even as it relates to any individual Jamaican, Rastafari or who is not Rastafari. How do I cite up how the Howellites influence Jamaican culture?
Leonard Howell and Howellites, you can't separate them. They are just one.
Yes, sir.
Leonard Howell is the leader of them and the father of them. See? So the Howellites were the ones who were there, were maintaining the property, or maintaining liberty, or maintaining chanting, or maintaining. Remember, you know, at Pinnacle with a revival setting, you know.
Right, that's pretty cool. There's vibing on that. Yes, too, you know, check this out. There's another one here. What is it? Was Rastafari started by Leonard Howell? Let's go to far, right? Pretty cool vibe. Good information there. Now, at the beginning of the stream, I'll just flip this up a little bit because it's side I come across. Kind of really dope. It's like a forum on the Australian Medical. Much peace to everybody coming in. So we've got a couple of people. But yeah, so it's a really good site. Yeah, so like you have to log in and make an account. But from there, it's called canareviews.com or .au. So we carry reviews. Yeah, or canareviews.au.com. Yeah, basically you got all your things here. Let's get this thing out of the way. You can check. They got capsules, edibles, 67 different flowers, the bubble hash, which is available, oils, sprays, topicals, and the vape spray. So it's can you like you can select all these things. It gives you a great description. Oh, that's for the selection. Sorry, but yeah, you got all the terpene profile, all these things. So I've just gone into the flower I've selected. So this is one I'll be getting. I'm currently on a different one. I'm on this one here. I've got Rocky and Solace. This is going to be the next one on the script. But so we'll just go into this one here. Oops, I've already done that. Okay, I guess because I had that open for a while and I logged me out. What happened? There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of a hiccup there. So we'll get back to where we're at. But anyway, so you can check out here. We got okay. So these are all the products. We'll just go for flour. I heard somebody yesterday on the Husky stream. Shout out to I think it's Razify. He was on. He's got the Rocky and this big Kush. Medcan. This is another one. This is that like I'm going to be trying on Monday. They're going to be ringing me. Hopefully, I'll go through that. It's the subsidized one, so you have to get Medcan products. But we'll go back to where I was. It's another one. Medcan 20%. It gives you the price. It tells you all that. You can put your own review. Where is this Solace? Oh, there's another one. Oh wow, it's a full CBD, 14% CBD from ANTG. That's currently the one I'm with. It's Australian grown, Australian made. It says. I'm not sure if it's Australian owned. Oh, here we go. There's Rocky. So this is the one I want. It's currently the highest one that they've got. There's Big Boss and Rocky. The highest THC of indica. So here we go. Check all this out. Great information. Really, really good. Awesome site. Like, because I was trying to talk to people that I've talked to. I probably spoke to maybe 6 or 7 different people, maybe up to 10, and none of them really gave me this information to get it. I mean, there's 10 people under a business, and from the not including people online, but and I found this, so yeah, it's good. So even got the cultivator there, CBD ratio, cannabinoids. It's got people's rating. You can write. Well, this guy's written a review here. What does he say here? In 2 minds about this flower. I've had a few batches and I found they're very inconsistent. Good size buds, very dry and cure on it, and good cure on it. Slaps the first few times, but gets old quickly. I found the effects don't last very long. Beacon 25%, pink kush blows Rocky out of the water. Overpriced, but if you can afford it, it's no smoke. Okay, so it's got helps with the pain, anxiety. They rolled it up. Dry eyes, dry mouth, hungry, tired, and sleepy. Flavors, earthy, skunk, woody. Where's this guy going? You can't be charging $6.80 an ounce for seedy bud. Sorry, even the batches that had no seeds would be $500 in Oz. I've had 54 containers, and there's only been 3 that you could charge $5.50 for. Other than that, you're off the mark. Very inconsistent. Charging this for the medication shows that you're not in the business for healthcare. You're in the business for making money. Although lying about THC percentage isn't nice. There was a batch that Tetra Health nurse even told me it wasn't testing anywhere near the mark, and you still charge full price. Very ethical company, not. Okay, so a very unhappy customer there. Paying $780 delivered. It's quite crazy. Well, not crazy, but what happened? It's not my situation. Nice stuff, but by price. See, okay, a lot of people are. No one's given a good, well, like a straight up thing. We'll go back there. It does say, where was it? Specifications. There was another section I saw the other day. It gave the terpene profile, like the amount of the lignine, or there's 3 different ones that there were. So you can search up by the brand type, strain, or profile. It's really tough side. I haven't actually looked around it myself, so I'm kind of looking at myself now. It's, 67 beer. Try and find the ones that I'm going to be getting. I've seen a review on that online in Mariposa. Topaz. Okay, I'll be getting this on the next script. I haven't tried it yet. Let's see what it's like. It's better price. No, I think it's a 7-gram container. Okay, so it's probably similar price, $15 per gram. Not too sure yet, so I haven't had it. Pretty shame there's no flowers on it though. Here we go. These guys have got it here. Okay, so Counter-Track 25 Topaz flower is an indica dominant hybrid. Dried medicinal cannabis flower. Each gram of dry flower contains 25% THC delta 9. Terpene profile is the beta caryophyllene is 0.71%, alpha humulene 0.29%, D-limonene 0.21, beta myrcene, and the line of oils. It's pretty dope. Once I started, if you're understanding these things. This has got a very good. This one, the Rocky had a 3.8. This one's got a 4.8. So I'm looking forward to trying this then. Third batch and still impressed. This guy's review. Third batch of 225. Honestly, I'm at T25 through the day and T20 at night. I've mixed them both, and it's overly potent. Neither should be consumed excessively by lightweights. If you're new to MC, medical cannabis, or new to cannabis in general, go easy. The sativa side, pretty dominant, but if you're into indica, don't let that put you off. It's indica dominant and overconsumed, and it'll screw you up your day. 100. But I'm seasoned down 1 gram in the morning, half a gram late afternoon. Switch to T20 when the sun goes down. Try them both. Haven't been so impressed by any weed for years. Big thumbs up by Counter-Track. Wow, there you go. 160 for either 7 to 10 grams. But these are the Counter-Track offers the discount to healthcare pension people of 10%. And there's also a direct to Counter-Track. So I haven't tried it, but look out for that. Heavy hitting warm and uplifting flower. 160. So there you go. That's a this is the other part, which is kind of good because it gives you a sense of where you're going, where you're going to be at. And so I'll find Medcan too. I love this flower. If you're looking for the couch lock effect, this is the flower. Helped do this on Sommelier. He vaped it, or he or she. Carving dry mouth, happy, pain relief, relaxed, it's earthy. Alright, so looking forward to that. And that's the other thing. People probably have, a lot of people kind of vouch um, that the higher the THC is not really a description of and a guarantee you're going to be higher or what it is about the terpene profile, so lower percentage in the teens may give a more like a exuberant effect. Where we go? I'll go to the Medcan ones because that's where I'll be going next. So this one, strawberry cake, they just said that's available. So they had course cake and they had some names. So there's gelato. So these guys are good. Medcan, not good. I'm going to speak to them on Monday, but we'll see how it goes because they offer the full subsidy, so which was up to 50%. So basically, this is our like you'll be 160 for the container. I think it is a 7 gram, but if you're getting the subsidy at full price, that's going to be working out to be $80 for a quarter, 7 grams of really high grade. So we got 5. Probably only got a couple of ratings here. I've got a few. We've got 2, and they're both saying 5. Best company, best product. When you first open the jar, you get hit with a pure mango smell. Going in, it even has a strong mango hit, but you got the odd occasion of a nice strawberry hit. The high is extremely relaxing as well. Hits like a train and helps with pain almost as much as the CCO one, which was the other kush. I think I've been told by the sister it's Afghan kush, but it's not described as that on here. It's called something Creek kush. So they pay $140 for the 7 grams at 20. I think obviously delivered. That's dope. As soon as I opened it, this is obviously here says strawberry cake. Medcan SCO1. Go to the other person. As soon as I opened the top, the smell whacked me. Very citrusy notes with that pungent, gassy bud smell. Appears wise, different shades of green and beautifully crystallized effects. As soon as I was done smoking, I had about 3 or 4 cones. Whoa, it definitely whacked me. Definitely heavy on the eyes, which I low-key love. It also put me in a very happy, goofy mood. Pain-wise, it did reduce my pain, but by heaps, and it also gave me the munchies hard. I normally take my meds for my sleep, but having 4 cones on this before bed definitely felt like I'm having something a little stronger than bud. But overall, I rate this flower 8 out of 10. I'm really satisfied with it. Also, this strain is a lot longer IMO than T20 and Girl Scout cookies. Alright, so looking forward to this one too. And as I said, Medcan. To all this, to see what else they got here. Specifications. Oh no, Deco. It's a 10 gram tub for that. So you're going to be paying, $80 for 10 grams, which is, it's quite, compared to the black markets, price that I've heard around the country. It's all variant, but it's good. I don't think you can buy it in the Oz. I'm not sure. So the brand, it's come from Canada though. Okay, so I'll probably be looking for Australian flowers myself, like Australian owned, Australian grown, and Australian made or whatever. Like just full Australian company, I prefer. But it's going to take time to look around. So let's just check out the higher. Look for the Big Boss. If there's any ones that you guys have tried, let me know. I can't see the chat at the moment. But yeah, I'll have a look. If there's anything you want me to press and check up, let me know. Where we at? So the topaz and the I missed it obviously. Kakadu. Super silver haze, lemon haze and a 3.5 gram, 59 at 22.5. This was interesting. I'm just trying to find this. It's called, I saw it the other day, Big Boss. Ooh. Is it? No, that's not the one. Oh, here we go. Yandy Pick Larry, 7 grams of certified 130. This guy, this is Australia. Probably check it out. Didn't get. That's from Canada as well. I haven't never tried this one. A bit different, but maybe it'll be. Larry G. Kush Bits. Yandy is a hybrid marijuana strain by crossing Larry G. Kush Bits is strain is citrus, spicy, earthy. Aroma. Yandy is an indica dominant hybrid. Crossbits said that the flowers tend to be intense and feature distinct burnt orange hairs with main hues of pink, purple, and green. Awesome. Great site, once again. I'm going to have to keep going through this too. We can get it out to reviews, products, clinics. What else we got here? So there's clinics. You can check this out. Price comparison there. Really cool site. We'll go into some other things here. We've got the doctor recommended, or she told me that this is also available. Oh, it's not there anymore. The hash was there yesterday. It's probably not. Oh, what's going on? Oh, it's called Big Boss, that's why. There you go. Color track T55 bubble hash with a 55% THC. It's made from the topaz. Well, color track T55 bubble hash topaz is indica dominant hybrid dried medical cannabis powder. Each gram of powdered bubble hash contains 55% of Delta 9. Lineage is garlic Z, Girl Scout cookies and OG Kush. Texture is powder, light to dark, beige color. Odor is citrus, spicy, woody, earthy. Flavor is garlic. Growing method, indoor greenhouse cultivation, terpene profile. It's got all these here. The beta carotene, alpha humulene, alpha bisobolol, linalool, D-limonene, fenchol, alpha terpenol, valencine, alpha cedrine, beta-mycin. Huge. Hasn't really got concentrate or style. Well, this one left me on the fence, but leaning towards buying again. More likely, read why below. $150 for 3 grams. Basically, careful dusty with the lads. For the lads out there. I know the process to making bubble hash is extremely difficult and grinding your weed to find leftover keep, but that's what I felt like to me, which ain't bad. It's definitely potent, and when you use sunflower, that's quite a punch. But yeah, if you're looking for concentrates, you see in the USA, it isn't quite what I was hoping for. I know bubble hash is a rosin texture, but bubble hash, you can get that texture with one more step, which doesn't really work well with this stuff. Anyways, 150 grams for 3 grams. for a strong keefy Harrison bat. Would I buy again? No, would buy again, so not a bad review. If anyone is wondering what it actually is. So yeah, and then also the doctor told me that because on all the flour is 0.25 as required. Was currently my prescription anyway, and then she was saying that it's 0.01. No, 0.1, sorry. No, she said 0.01. I mean, yeah, 0.01 of this is needed. 0.01. So like pretty strong. Topical. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, whoops, I'll go out here and check where we're at. Oh yeah, much peace, bro. Everybody. Thanks for coming through, G. I missed all these comments. The Tilray 25. Alright, bro. I'll check that out. Alright. Much peace if he's hopped out. I'll look for Tilray. How long have I been going for? A bit. Tilray T25. Oh, not in the hash. THC. There you go, Brendan. Whole flower, THC 25. Oh, they got heaps there, bro. Alright, check it out. Whole flower, THC 25, 5 gram, 25%. Nice. 115. Master Kush from Canada. Not a unique medicinal flower with excellent outcomes, sadly. Bone dry, very average, well cured and packaged, primarily buds with really hard stems. Good size 5 gram jar. However, the hard plastic wrapping is ridiculous. This is not definition of average. It's a strong flower with 25% THC. The terpenes seem rather mild and don't produce a significant effect. Different effect on pain and anxiety on different days. So very high THC, which is good, but terpenes and CBD aren't balanced nicely, and it's far from an exciting product. Well overpriced for what's prescribed. Well, that's the THC opinion. Love this for the night. Strong couch lock. Obviously, what was I say? Thought it'd be a good word back to see what else Tilray have got. Where you at, mate? So, it's a CBT. I did like the topical thing too. I've actually tried, I haven't tried a topical product, but the oil that I tried, I rubbed a little bit on like a joint that I broke, like a pain, and it really had a good effect. So that's another really it's a cool side of it about it. There's a lot of products here. Purified CBD, purified TED, full spectrum. Well, what is this? What's the oil? 2 to 100 CBD oil is a cannabis extract suitable for oil ingestion and use in food products. Each meal contains a target concentration of 2 milligrams THC and 100 milligrams CBD. Nice. Alright. So, yeah, I'll probably bust out. So, thanks everybody for chilling through. If you missed some, go back, check it out. There's some good vibes about like Leonard Howe, Rastafari, and the whole culture, how it was formed and influences, what it's had. Then gone on to the Canada Reviews. Great website here for Australia patients who wanted to find out about it, even doctors too. Like a forum, really, really good. So have put some input there. Check it out. Great for people. So yeah, look forward to another episode. Stay chill. Much bless, much peace. Stay with the high grade. And thanks for tuning in today. I'll see you next week. Peace.